So, as most of you, probably all of you honestly, have probably heard, Zelda Breath of the Wild, the DLC is, the expansion 1 pack is launching tonight. It is currently 6:05 p.m. It is raining outside. It has been a terrible day actually, but regardless, the expansion launches tonight at midnight. I already have my copy ordered, downloaded already, so we're good to go. Regardless though, I thought that I would take this time while I'm waiting to be able to play the expansion to talk about what I think of the future of DLC and expansions with Nintendo. So obviously, this is the first time of my knowledge that Nintendo has released a substantial expansion pack that is, you have to pay for one of their mainstream games, one of their AAA titles. So I thought that with that being said, it kind of worries me a little bit because I don't know the route that they're going to take. So if you look at other game developers, we'll say Bethesda, that just kind of comes to the top of my head, but Fallout 4, okay? Fallout 4, obviously, when it released, it was $60. It hasn't even been out for 2 years. On Steam, the game is currently $30, but the Season Pass is $50, okay? So for those of you that don't know, a Season Pass basically buys you all of the DLC, and it's usually much cheaper than buying the DLC separately. So if you were to buy all the DLC separately, it would probably be over $60 for Fallout 4. Now, Fallout 4 isn't even a 2-year-old game, but when the game came out, the game was $60, the Season Pass was $50, so you were paying for almost an entirely another game just to get a fraction of an addition to a complete game. And I don't really like that. Now, I'm by no means against DLC, I'm by no means against expansions. I love when game developers release, Game of the Year editions like Borderlands that come with all of the DLC for like $10, $20. I'm on board with that. I think that's a good idea. It gets people who didn't play the game interested in playing the game. And I've done that many times. Now, what I don't like is having to pay for another game when I want to play expansions, because it's a supplement to the main game. And what I'm kind of concerned about is with Nintendo being so new to this whole game of expansions is where they're gonna go with this, because they haven't really, to my knowledge, done any of this before. So when you look at a game like Breath of the Wild, well, I don't think that they've announced any extra DLC besides the 2 expansions, but say Metroid Prime 4 or Mario Odyssey, where are they gonna go with potential expansions for that, and how much is it gonna cost, and how much content is there going to be? Now, looking at Breath of the Wild, $20, what we're getting seems like a pretty decent amount for what we're, it's a decent amount of an expansion, I'd say, and I'm on board with it. Now, it does concern me because I don't know where Nintendo is going to go, and they could go the route of most game developers where they charge through the roof for expansions, or they could go the route that Nintendo, I would say, usually takes and focuses more on the player rather than necessarily the money. Which would be nice if they did that, because it's about the players. If you don't have players, you don't have any money. I'm looking at every game developer right now. Now, don't get me wrong, I completely understand that expansions are not free to make, and it does take a lot of hours of work for these people to put in to make this, but again, it pales in comparison in size and complexity to the main game itself. So relatively, if a main game costs $60, then proportionally, an expansion should literally be a couple dollars. And I think most people could probably agree with me on that about proportional prices. Obviously, $20 is not asking too much, but if Nintendo was to go and release a $50 season pass for Mario Odyssey, I would be pissed off. I would be pissed. I'd be happy on one end because like, oh my gosh, so much more Mario Odyssey content. But then on the other hand, I'd be like, oh wait, expansions don't really add that much content compared to the main game. It's maybe like a 10% increase for most games. It doesn't add a lot at all. Unless you're a game like an MMO where you're focused on end game content, it really doesn't do much. So we'll just have to wait and see. But personally, I think that Nintendo is going to go the smart route. I think that they're going to give us what we want, hopefully, if they listen to their fans, because the fans play their games and the fans provide their company and they give them money. And oh yeah, you should listen to the fans and the gamers. It's fair. It's fair. Anyways, please let me know down in the comments below what you guys think the future of Nintendo DLC is. I'm very curious to know what your thoughts are, but to be honest, we're not really gonna know unless a Nintendo rep comes through and says something legit, or until some information is leaked, or until we just play the games and they release the content. Regardless, thank you guys for watching. I'm super excited to play the Zelda DLC, get me back into the game again, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to tell me what your opinions are down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.